Alright lads, I'm in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, and the first question you've probably got for me is, what are the cars like here, Rick? Well, I can tell you, I've seen two Ladas, and everything else is a BYD and and Chevy Sparks, honestly. There are these little like Chevy vans going around as well, and they look pretty cool. Stand on any bridge in Tashkent, look down and play a little game with me. Spot the car that isn't a Chevrolet. This isn't America, this is a former Soviet republic in Central Asia, about as far as you can get from Detroit. And yet roughly 8 out of every 10 cars sold here is a Chevy. 8 out of 10. There is no other market on earth where Chevy has a grip like this. The market here is just dominated with Chevys, and I found out the reason why. Chevy or Daewoo or GM has a automobile plant here, so they actually put these together in the country. They're licensed to build them, which I find quite interesting. So there's a good mix of Chinese cars and Chevys built locally. The other thing I'd like to bring your attention to is my attire for the day. I'm wearing a VL Commodore jumper today, which I think is pretty cool. I'm enriching the people here, educating them on what a Holden VL Commodore looks like in Uzbekistan. So, a quick history. The plant didn't start out building Chevys. It started in the 90s as a joint venture with Daewoo, and for years the cars built here were Daewoo Nexias and Matizes. You still see those names everywhere on the street. Daewoo collapses, General Motors buys up the wreckage, and in 2008 the badge changes to the Chevy bowtie. Then in 2019 the Uzbek government takes the whole thing over. Today it's state owned and called Uz Auto Motors. Same factory, same idea, the national car company. But that explains how Chevy's got here, not why there's basically nothing else. For that we need the boring thing that secretly runs every country on earth. Tax. To protect that national car company, Uzbekistan slapped enormous import duties on foreign cars. Bring in a used petrol car more than 3 years old and you're hit with around 40% duty, plus a charge per cubic centimetre of engine. Enough to near double the price of the car. So for an ordinary family, it really never was a choice. A locally built Chevy or twice the money for a foreign badge. The state built the only affordable car in the country and made very sure it stayed that way. Genius, really. Imagine if Holden had thought of that. And located at the back of the auto bazaar are the new and used car parts. New gear on the stands, used gear pulled from the wrecks and laid out like an exhibit. And nearly all of it fits a Cobalt, a Nexia or a Matiz, because that's what everybody drives. You could build a whole car from parts found in this one bazaar. Which is quite an upside of the monopoly. When everybody owns the same thing, keeping it running forever is dirt cheap. Nothing gets scrapped here, it becomes the next bloke's Cobalt. Buying and selling cars here runs on cash, mainly US dollars, which you just count out on the bonnet, and then you take all of the paperwork to the notarius. Handily, there's notary offices right here at the bazaar. Now if I had made this video a few years ago, that would be the end of the story. Chevy, undisputed king. But something here in Uzbekistan is shifting, and fast. Uzbekistan opened its doors to electric vehicles, and crucially, EVs come in with no import duty. And who makes cheap, decent EVs by the millions? China. So now the Chevy monopoly has competition for the first time in its life. BYD has built its own factory here. Chevy, Haval and Kia are also being assembled in the country too. Chevy's share has slipped from the mid 90% at its peak down to around 8 in 10. Still massive, but it's the first time the bowtie has actually had to fight for it. So the streets you're looking at right now, in 10 years they may look completely different. You're watching a monopoly in its final dominant act, right before the plot twist. So, in summary, they don't just like Chevys here, a collapsed Korean company, a Soviet-built factory, a wall of import taxes, a cash and thumbprints bazaar, and 30 years of having no other option built the most lopsided car market on the planet. And now a wave of Chinese EVs is about to knock the whole thing over. I'm glad I got to see it while it still looks like this. Anyway, that's what the cars are like in Uzbekistan. The monument was nice too, I guess.